Good morning, friends. It still is morning, believe it or not, and I had to put the umbrella up to protect me and the camera a little bit from the weather. Yeah, raindrops on the tabletop. Today, you recognize this little guy. I remember the problems I had. Well, I get a call back very quickly from tech support that evening. I'd obviously phoned at lunchtime or break time when the staff were not available, and very satisfactory. I was pleased with the results I got from the young woman I was talking to, and I can honestly call her young because she was definitely less than 70, so therefore she's a young woman. Anyway, so I've got my little I call it ETEKCITY burner. I've got it with only 3 legs. By the way, just to let you know, tech support is sending me a replacement stove. Very nice. I appreciate that. And you know what? This one's going to continue getting used like this now. I didn't bring out a windbreak with me, so there you go. Today, what are we going to do? Well, if you're like me on a cold, damp morning or afternoon or any other time of the day, it's time for a cup of coffee. The last time I made coffee, it was real good. It was not decaf. This, however, is not decaf, but it's just going on noon. Not so bad. And I'm not going to use a cup to heat it. I'm using my small MSR Seagull 775 milliliter, and you may say that's a bit large. Yeah, it is. I carry it so. The cup is a 1 ounce or 1 cup cup. MSR bowl, of course. I'll sit it down the front out of the way. It's just there. Okay. I always blow it out right there. Because they have dust in there. I never know. Okay. I'm gonna measure according to the cup 1 cup and a half. This pouch looks like an awful lot. And so if I make more water than I need, then we won't have a problem. If I don't make enough water, big problem. So I figured the easiest way, there. Set it aside, fire this guy up. Now there's a breeze, but not much. So, on with the lid, because as we know, stoves do tend to heat up the things a lot quicker. And yes, now I'm not going to turn it necessarily right on high at first. Okay, now I'm looking, and I'm sitting about, yeah, it's on full there. Okay, now I'm going to move to the side a little bit so I can talk to you. You can see the flame. At least I'm showing it in I'm using my iPad as a monitor and controller for the camera, and you can see it's not too bad. Now I know I'm probably going to be drowned out quite a bit, so I'm speaking up. Anyway, the coffee today is Nescafe Sweet and Creamy French Vanilla. Now, who can't like French vanilla? I know there's some of you probably that don't. Anyway, and forgive me if I did not put my accessory microphone on the camera, so I'm counting on the microphone from the camera to do the recording. Okay, we're going to have it sit there and burn a little bit, and we're going to move to the side. Whether or not all is level, I don't know. I'm not even sure the table is level. So there you go. Anyway, I'm roughing it today, as you saw, using a barbecue igniter. I'm using a real tin spoon out of the kitchen. The cup, that's out of a camping kit about 30 years old. So there you go. And I see my neighbors are out for a walk in the rain, all dressed up properly for it. That's good. neighbors across the street from me. Anyway, we'll trust that this is going to work fine. And sorry about the noise. I don't expect it to take long. As far as how long it takes, we'll find that out when we get finished. Anyway, the coffee, well, I didn't bring a knife. I didn't bring a pair of scissors. And no, I don't plan on chewing on it. So let's hope that I can peel this thing open, because you know how it goes. Yes, I did bite on it. Guess what? Look at the steam coming out. Okay, let's turn this guy down. Okay, what I like also, I think you might be able to see the flame if you look underneath the pot there. This thing goes down. I was amazed when I tried it in the house with my first time I used it. It actually turns down so low that you can get down low enough that it won't draw enough air from it to actually do the job. Okay, anyway, off with that. Pot on a leather glove. Now, with the amount of coffee that's in here, I suspect that I need to make up a bigger pot. Because you see, wait a minute, I do find instructions. Oh yeah, in French. Pour, add hot water, stir and enjoy. And it doesn't say how many ounces. So, I'm going to take it. It may be a weak brew, in which case I'll have to steam it. Matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do is pour water into the cup. Okay, that's 4 ounces. Let's pour it in and see what we get. You see, I've often wondered what Bushcraft Bartons and some other folks have been using for making their coffee that came out of the tea kettle. If you remember, they use their little tea kettle. Oh yes. Now, I am not going to drink out of that. No. But I can sure. Yes. See, that was with a cup of water. And that's actually probably perfect. If you like your coffee strong, then of course try with 6 ounces of water, or 7. Anyway, I'm going to pour it over top my bowl because I really don't want to make a mess. And we know I will. Now, I only put 6 ounces in the cup because of the one simple fact. There's no sense of filling it right to the top. Okay. Now, the time it took, my iPhone is showing me milliseconds. So, I think that's probably milliseconds remaining on the camera's video card. Not sure. But anyway, I'm not sure how long that's taken me. And that's not a matter that I'm really worried about. I know it wasn't very long. I thank you for joining me. And by all means, keep a cup handy. You never know when you're going to get a chance to have a nice cup of coffee at the right time. This coffee comes out of my hunting and fishing bag that I use to carry soups and all that stuff, including the hobo stove and a Trangia. And so there we are. We are giving it a try. This stove definitely, as you heard, it burned well. Obviously the noises I was hearing when I used it in that wind with the shield, there was still enough wind getting at the flame to make a racket with it. Turned out well. Tech support, I got to give them a 5. You know, the stove is not going to be an MSR pocket rocket, that's for sure. What's the difference? Well, wind resistance. That's going to be the main thing for me, and it doesn't matter that much. The cost, 1/5 the price of a pocket rocket on Amazon Canada. Now I checked Mountain Equipment Co-op, and their price is $50, and that's in Canada, in Winnipeg. So there you go. You can't just always assume that you're going to get the best price from Amazon or from Mountain Equipment Co-op or from Cabela's or from the manufacturer, really. All I know is I googled the company, popped up, it's got an office, tech support and everything else, and that to me is a big thing. The support, you know, you can have a lesser product, and with top-notch support it can be more useful to you than a high-end product. So I'm going to enjoy my coffee sitting out here listening to the birds underneath this awning, which is not umbrella, which is not really rainproof, but the rain has actually stopped, and it was only a mist coming down anyway. So I wish you a fine day. Hopefully your day will be as good as I'm planning on having mine. Indeed, we need to plan every day to be a good day, and that's what I'm doing. So from Paradise Village, from the birds, yeah, they're flitting around the trees, they're singing away, and our neighbors, everyone, have a good day, enjoy it, and if all else fails, have a cup of joe. All the best. Ted's clear.